Alice was walking home from a late-night shift at the hospital when she saw something strange out of the corner of her eye. She turned to look, but nothing was there. Shrugging it off as her exhaustion getting the best of her, she continued on her way. But as she approached her apartment building, she heard strange noises coming from inside. She hesitated for a moment, wondering if she should go in or call the police. But before she could make a decision, the door swung open and a figure stepped out. It was a man, but he was unlike any she had ever seen before. His face was twisted and disfigured, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. He lunged at her, and Alice screamed. The man grabbed her and dragged her into the building, slamming the door behind him. Alice struggled to break free, but the man was too strong. She could feel his hot breath on her face as he leaned in to bite her. Just as the man was about to attack, a light flickered on in the corner of the room. It was a projector, and on the wall in front of it, an image was forming. It was a movie clip from a horror film, showing a character being attacked by a monster. Alice's attacker let out a scream and stumbled backwards, clutching his chest. Suddenly he collapsed to the ground, dead. Alice looked around in shock and saw that the room was empty. She had been hallucinating, or so she thought. But as she made her way home, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was still following her. As Alice walked home, her heart pounded with a mixture of fear and disbelief. The encounter with the disfigured man had left her shaken, but the strange turn of events that led to his demise added an extra layer of bewilderment to the already bizarre situation. The flickering projector and the timely appearance of the horror movie clip seemed like a macabre stroke of luck, but Alice couldn't help but wonder if it was mere coincidence, or something more sinister at play. She quickened her pace, eager to escape the lingering unease that clung to her like a shadow. The city streets, usually bustling with activity, felt eerily deserted under the dim streetlights. Every creak of a nearby alley or rustle of leaves sent a shiver down her spine, reminding her of the potential danger lurking in the darkness. Arriving at her apartment building, Alice glanced back, half expecting to see the distorted figure of her assailant pursuing her. To her relief, the streets remained empty, devoid of any malevolent presence. Yet as she reached for her keys, a sinking feeling settled in her gut. The encounter had ignited a primal instinct within her, a nagging sense that danger was still present, hidden in the shadows. The decision to enter her apartment became a battle between self-preservation and the desire to find solace within the familiarity of her own space. Torn between caution and the exhaustion that clung to her bones, Alice took a deep breath, summoned her waning courage, and stepped inside. As the door creaked shut behind her, the apartment seemed to exhale a sigh of silence. Alice cautiously surveyed the rooms, her gaze darting from one corner to another, searching for any signs of intrusion. But everything appeared undisturbed, save for the remnants of her own hectic lifestyle: unwashed dishes, scattered papers, and the comforting chaos that she had grown accustomed to. Fatigue washed over Alice, coaxing her toward the embrace of her bed. She knew she needed rest, to allow her mind and body to recover from the night's harrowing events. Yet the unease that had trailed her persisted, refusing to be appeased by the relative safety of her four walls. With every creak of the floorboards and gust of wind that whispered through the cracks, Alice's paranoia amplified. She found herself questioning every flickering shadow, her imagination running wild with ghastly scenarios. The comforting notion that she had merely hallucinated in the face of exhaustion wavered beneath the weight of her unease. The night stretched on, a symphony of creeping noises and her own racing thoughts. Sleep eluded Alice, her mind caught in a relentless dance between reality and the macabre. She longed for the sun's arrival, for the breaking dawn to sever the tenuous connection she felt to the events that had transpired. As the first rays of daylight filtered through her window, casting a gentle glow upon her weary face, Alice let out a sigh of relief. The darkness that had clung to her soul throughout the night gradually receded, relinquishing its hold on her consciousness. It was in this moment of respite that Alice resolved to face her lingering fear head-on. With steely determination, she embarked on a mission to uncover the truth, to reconcile the inexplicable events that had unfolded. Armed with her curiosity and an unwavering spirit, Alice delved into the depths of research, seeking answers in forgotten tales, urban legends, and the shadows that danced at the edge of human comprehension. For in her heart, Alice knew that the encounter with the disfigured man was merely the beginning. A glimpse into a world lurking beneath the surface, where darkness and the extraordinary intertwined. And whether she liked it or not, Alice found herself inexorably drawn into the twisted web of the supernatural. With each revelation, her cynicism deepened, for the truth she uncovered was far stranger and more malevolent than she had ever anticipated. The disfigured man, it turned out, was not an isolated phenomenon. Reports of similar encounters spanned across the city, a trail of bizarre incidents, each accompanied by a flickering light and a haunting movie clip that mirrored the impending danger. Alice's experience was not an isolated hallucination born of exhaustion, but rather a meticulously orchestrated sequence of events designed to unnerve and prey upon unsuspecting victims. The more Alice dug, the more she unravelled a tapestry of ancient curses, occult rituals, and vengeful spirits. She discovered whispers of an enigmatic group that delved into the forbidden realms, exploiting the fears and vulnerabilities of ordinary people for their own nefarious purposes. They revelled in the chaos and despair they sowed, feeding off the terror that gripped their victims. Undeterred by the overwhelming darkness that surrounded her, Alice resolved to bring an end to this malevolence. Armed with newfound knowledge and a fierce determination, she sought out allies among those who had encountered similar horrors. Together, they formed a ragtag group of individuals, bound by a shared desire for justice and a craving to expose the hidden underbelly of their city. Their quest took them to forgotten places and shadowy corners, where they confronted the very essence of fear. As they delved deeper, their cynical perspective became a shield, protecting them from the seductive allure of the supernatural. They refused to be mere pawns in the grand design of their adversaries, defying their expectations at every turn. Through cryptic symbols, ancient texts, and secret meetings, Alice and her allies pieced together the puzzle. They uncovered the true nature of the disfigured man, a vengeful spirit seeking retribution for a long-forgotten injustice. They learned of the malevolent organization that had summoned him, using innocent victims as pawns in a sinister game of terror. Armed with this knowledge, Alice and her comrades devised a daring plan to expose the culprits and put an end to their reign of terror. They infiltrated the organization, using their own cynicism as a weapon, turning the tables on those who sought to exploit their fears. Through cunning and resilience, they disrupted the dark rituals and revealed the truth to a city that had long been blinded to the hidden horrors lurking beneath its surface. In the aftermath of their victory, Alice emerged as a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of resilience and the indomitable spirit of those who refused to succumb to darkness. She continued her journey, now armed with a newfound purpose, to protect others from the predatory forces that preyed upon their fears. And so, as she ventured forth, Alice carried with her the lessons learned in the crucible of cynicism and the creative power of her own will. No longer a mere witness to the supernatural, she became a force to be reckoned with, an embodiment of resilience and a harbinger of justice in a world teetering between light and shadow.